Alchemy is probably the least developed skill in Hypixel Skyblock, with basically no content associated with it other than just the standard vanilla brewing system. However, recently, the admins announced a brand new yearly Skyblock event that would show up every once in a while that would revitalize the alchemy skill, the Year of the Witch. So, I log on, I'm really excited, I'm looking forward to all of the new witchy-based content that we're going to get. Alchemy is finally going to be a good skill, and it's a Bestiary update. Recently, the Year of the Witch has came and went in Hypixel Skyblock, and I have fully maxed out the entirety of the event. I got every single one of the witch's stews, I got the witch pet to the max rarity, so on and so forth. I've pretty much done everything. And I wanted to talk a little bit about my thoughts on the event, because I think the event was okay, and probably even a little bit underwhelming for what they initially stated. The Year of the Witch, I feel like, was a great opportunity to make some minor changes to the alchemy systems and the systems in general for leveling the skill, and they didn't really do any of that. They focused more so on the bestiary side of the update, which was just running around and killing a ton of different mobs, which is, like, fine and all that. Like, I don't mind running around and killing a bunch of different mobs, but I feel like if the goal of the event was to make alchemy better, they didn't really do that too much. Firstly, one of the major reasons I think this is that you don't even get that much alchemy XP for fully participating in the event. I understand obviously the skill should not be fully maxed out from one participation in the Year of the Witch, but you only get about 200,000 total XP for participating, not including any wisdom you have, which isn't the most in the world. I would have loved to see the ability for you to gain alchemy XP from actually getting the ingredients off of the mobs, with the rarer drops giving you more XP. I don't know if that's something that could have been abused, or if they were worried about something like that, and that's why they chose not to allow you to get alchemy XP off of those drops, but I feel like that would have been an easy way to make the event a little bit more exciting for those who want to level alchemy. Also, I just wonder how interesting the event is going to be for someone who's not at the late game of Skyblock. I feel like if you're in the early game, there isn't really much incentive for you to max out the Year of the Witch, and I think there is a decent incentive for you to at least participate in the other yearly events. You know, Year of the Seal has some items that are pretty notable for fishing, especially nowadays. I think that the seal pet, when it releases, will be pretty nice. And Year of the Pig has all of the upgrades and talismans and accessories associated with it that you would want to get no matter what, even if you're a relatively early game player. Year of the Witch doesn't really have that, aside from the base level pet and a couple accessories, which aren't even that difficult to get. The stews are not particularly exciting, I imagine, for a brand new player, although for me, I feel like they were pretty good, considering that I'm a little bit further in. I just wonder what specifically the target audience of Year of the Witch was. Part of me wonders if it was meant to be more of this mid to late game update, where a lot of end game players who are grinding out their bestiaries now have a better incentive to do it, which, if that was the case, I think they succeeded, because the bestiary part of the update is fine. I enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was pretty fun. But in terms of it being an alchemy update, I don't really think it succeeded. Keep in mind that this is not going to be all complaints. I don't even have that many other complaints about the event as a whole. My only other major issue with it is related to the fact that the frozen type was not around for the entirety of the event. I think in the future they should just keep the Jerry Island open from the beginning, because you need the frozen type in order to upgrade your witch pet to epic, and waiting until the end of the event isn't really too great, especially if you've gotten everything else done. But I also see the perspective of players who are saying, hey, you know, this isn't something you're supposed to max out in just one event. That's totally understandable, but being time-locked in that manner, and the only other method of getting frozen mobs being to grind out frozen adventurers, is just a little bit crazy. I just feel like Year of the Witch was the perfect time for a soft revamp of the alchemy system. There's a lot of ways that they could have taken the alchemy skill. They could have moved it in more of an experimentation table type of way, where there's some sort of alchemy table that you have to do minigames for, or whatever, bring ingredients to it, and you get alchemy XP, so on and so forth. They could have done sort of a visitor system for alchemy, where you go around to certain people in the hub, and they have poisons or effects or things that they want you to make for them, and you need a bunch of resources, and that's a resource sink for you, but in return you get some rewards, maybe, I don't know, coins, as well as alchemy XP. There's a lot of different things they could have done or gone with when it comes to alchemy as a whole that I don't feel like would take a ridiculous amount of development time, but choosing to do it in this manner, in my view, just isn't the most exciting. I didn't mind it. Once again, it wasn't a great, crazy event. I wasn't expecting it to be a ridiculously great, crazy event, but even compared to the other yearly events, I think it was a little bit lackluster in terms of the amount of content and the types of stuff that you're doing. It's just killing the same mobs that we've already been killing for 6 years now. I think a lot of people are already kind of tired of that, the same exact style of combat content. In terms of the grinds, I don't actually think too many of the grinds were that egregious. I am on a normal profile though, so I understand certain methods I may have used will not be as accessible to Iron Men. I imagine shielded are probably pretty annoying on Iron Men, maybe constructs as well. I didn't really feel like the rest were too bad. Aquatic felt a little bit slow, magmatic definitely felt a little bit slow, but aside from that, I didn't really have too much trouble grinding them out. Airborne wasn't that bad once you went to the Gas and the Crimson Isle, but if you don't have access to those guys, I guess the Fire Bats in Bal would work, so on and so forth for pretty much every other mob type. I actually think that there is a good variety of most of the mob types in the game, and they tried to balance it out by making the rarer ones like Shielded have a little bit higher of a base drop rate, which was nice to see. Once you get the Witch Pet though and you upgrade it, it really isn't that much of a problem. I think my biggest issue with the event isn't really the event itself or what we're doing. It's just that it was pitched as an Alchemy update, and it doesn't really play like an Alchemy update or act like an Alchemy update. Obviously, the Witch Pet's really nice. Being able to get the half time on making potions is going to be super useful if you're grinding out, potions in the future because you want to level up Alchemy. But it doesn't change the fundamentals of Alchemy, nor does it make Alchemy as a skill significantly better. It just lowers the amount of time that you have to do it, which for many people, I guess, will be enough, but I was hoping for something a little bit more substantial, and hopefully we do get that in the future. But for now, I think Year of the Witch is one of the events of all time. Wrapping up here, I would love to hear what you think about the Year of the Witch event down below. Leave all of your thoughts. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Did you not participate in it? Did you wish it would be more Alchemy focused? So on and so forth. Make sure to use code RAIL on the Hypixel store for 5% off your order, like and subscribe, and look to the future, fellas. I'll see you then.